Hi, I'm Meeka, also known as the Moroccan Angel. If this is our first encounter, I want to say welcome, and I'm glad you're here. If you find my content spiritually enlightening or encourages spiritual growth, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and press the like button. Today we're going to focus on what is a Christian, and we're going to examine this from the original Greek text. The original Greek word for Christian is Christianos, and that plainly means a follower of Christ. Now, a follower is defined as one who accepts the guidance, command, or leadership of another. To accept the leadership, command, or guidance of another is to do what they are requesting you to do, steadfastly. You adhere to their instructions and you devotedly follow their guidance. You follow them. Now, an individual that follows is defined as one who obeys, meaning they carry out and fulfill the commands of the other person. They steadfastly comply with their instructions. It is specifically acting in compliance or in agreement to what they command. It is obedience. Now, we all know, just looking at the basic facts of things, that someone who is professing to be a Christian in the literal sense of the word and going about not or doing things that are against what he has commanded is really not a Christian. Like, think about it. Someone who's professing to be a Christian while in the act of sin or in the act of disobedience is not complying to the wishes or the commands or teachings of Christ. This is a clear indicator that they're not actually who they're professing to be. There's actually a more accurate term for someone who does this, who's doing something like this, and the definition of this term is a person who pretends to be what he is not, and that term is a hypocrite. You see, a hypocrite proclaims to steadfastly follow Jesus' teachings when in fact they don't. And this desire for sin can only be hid for so long, because what happens is they'll have these sporadic spurts of manifestations of the flesh in which they carry out sinful deeds or sinful The reason acts. This is happening is because they're still in bondage to sin, and it's their own resolve to cease from sin. So this indicates that they're still in bondage. Chances are what happened was, instead of it being a biblically defined conversion, one that has the biblical evidence or confirmation of being truly reborn, didn't take place. What more than likely happened is that they had an emotional conviction, or they were moved emotionally to come to the Christian faith, but they didn't necessarily get reborn. And the evidence of this is that their desire is still there to commit sinful acts. Some might say, well, a number of Christians, a lot of them, will say, that's impossible. Nobody can not sin. Like, everybody sins. That's just, that's humanity. It's just over. We're all doomed. But that's not actually true. The whole rebirth thing is a supernatural experience. It's something that very few professing Christians have actually encountered. This is so rejected because they've never really experienced that. They've never experienced it, so they reject it. Jesus said, one of his commands was, go and sin no more. And a majority of Christians treat this as an option instead of a command, because they don't see how it can be fulfilled. But the New Testament scriptures tell you how. The New Testament scriptures state that the biblically defined Christian will actually possess the Spirit of Christ. Like, did you hear what I just said? They literally possess the Spirit of Christ. This is what empowers them to walk as he walked. One of the English definitions of a Christian is one who manifests the qualities or the actual Spirit of Christ. The reason that a biblically defined Christian can go and sin no more is because of the supernatural experience of really being born again. According to the New Testament scriptures, they become a new creature. And when they become a new creature, the bondage to sin is broken. The desire is broken. The New Testament scriptures convey to its readers that those who possess the Spirit of Christ will walk as he walked. They will live as he lived, not necessarily walking through the desert with, sandals or bare feet, but they will live how he lived. He was sinless. He had supernatural power, and he was steadfast in following and obeying the commandments of the God of Israel. Now, in 1 John 2:6, it reads, "He that saith he abideth in him ought also so to walk even as he walked." In Titus 2:12, it says, "Denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly," catch this, "soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world." So for all you people who are saying, we can't be holy in this life, we can't walk righteous in this life, that's a lie. The scriptures state living soberly, righteously is to steadfastly keep the law. That's who the righteous are, the ones who keep the law blameless, and godly in this life. So if you're thinking, okay, we'll be godly or we'll be completely sinless when we die and go to heaven, no, that's not what scripture says. It says right now, but this present world, this present time, that you are to live righteously. And one very important truth is that the righteous sin not. Jesus said true biblical Christians will not only walk as he walked, they will not only do what he did, because he said true biblical Christians who have his Spirit will do what he did. But not only will they do what he did, they will do greater than what he did. That's phenomenal. So tell me, since Jesus' death, when have you ever seen a professing Christian do greater than Jesus did? That's a problem. A big problem. A serious problem.